So let's start with a picture that I think most people have in their heads when they hear luxury industry.
Mhm.
You're imagining, a quiet atelier in Paris. There's the smell of leather, the sound of scissors on silk,
Right.
and a creative director making a multi-million-dollar decision based on what? A feeling, a vibe. It's that old world intuition.
Which is a beautiful image. And for a long time, that really was the reality.
But not anymore.
But today, yeah, we're going to talk about what happens when that world just crashes headfirst into the new world of hard data, algorithms, and artificial intelligence.
It feels like those two things shouldn't mix. It's like oil and water.
You'd think so.
But we're looking at a stack of reports today about a new launch from DLG, the digital luxury group. It's called Luxury IQ MCP.
Yeah.
And honestly, when I first saw the headline, I thought, great, another piece of software. But
Yeah.
looking at the specs, this feels different.
It is different. It's not just an update. It's a structural shift. This is the first time we're seeing something called Model Context Protocol, or MCP, specifically built for the luxury world.
And the promise here is pretty bold.
It's massive.
Yeah.
They're claiming that luxury executives can now tap into 1.4 billion data points just by having a conversation.
Okay, 1.4 billion points.
Yeah.
We are definitely going to get into what that actually is later because data point can mean a lot of things.
For sure.
But first, that conversation part. The idea is you stop looking at dashboards and you just...
You start talking to the machine.
Why talk to it?
Effectively, yes. And we need to frame this correctly. This isn't some, sci-fi future. This is about solving a very boring but very expensive problem that exists right now.
Which is what?
Ignorance. Or maybe more precisely, the inability to find the truth fast enough.
See, that surprises me, though. You look at the luxury industry. It's enormous. You'd assume they have the most sophisticated tech in the world. Why would they be struggling?
You would assume that, wouldn't you? But here's the reality check. The business intelligence industry. The people who build these data analysis tools.
Yeah.
It's a $38 billion industry. It is huge. But it has largely just ignored the luxury sector.
Ignored it. Or just failed to build the right thing for it.
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how standard retail works. If you're selling, I don't know, toothpaste,
Right.
the metrics are pretty straightforward. Volume, turnover, shelf space. But luxury is weird. It operates on scarcity. It operates on a brand equity that takes, 50 years to build?
5 minutes to destroy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the generic tools, the ones tracking toothpaste sales, they just don't work for a $10,000 watch.
They're blunt instruments.
Totally. And this has created a massive gap. So DOG released this study, The State of AI in Luxury. They surveyed over 250 executives. And the headline stat is that 71% of them agree AI adoption cannot be delayed. They're panicked. They know they need to get on this.
Okay, so the motivation is there.
All right.
They aren't Luddites hiding from the future.
No, not at all. They want the tech. But here's the friction. 38% of those same executives said data fragmentation was their single biggest barrier.
Data fragmentation. It sounds like a clean corporate term for a really messy problem. What does that actually look like on a Tuesday morning for a CEO?
It looks like a nightmare. Okay, imagine you're trying to build a jigsaw puzzle.
Got it.
But the pieces aren't in the box. A quarter of them are with your sales team in some spreadsheet. Another quarter is with marketing on a social media dashboard.
Okay.
Another chunk is with your merchandisers. And the last quarter, say, competitor pricing, is locked in a room, and you don't even have the key.
So you literally cannot see the full picture.
You can't. You have these islands of data. And historically, if a CEO wanted to know something complex, like how's our new collection doing in China versus our main competitor, they'd have to email 4 different people.
And then wait.
And wait, days, sometimes weeks. By the time that report lands on their desk, the whole trend has shifted.
So naturally, people try to find a shortcut. They turn to the tools we all use now, right? ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. They just ask the bot.
And that is exactly where the second villain of our story comes in, hallucination.
Right. We hear this term a lot, but in a luxury context, what are the stakes here? If I ask ChatGPT for a recipe and it gets it wrong, my dinner's ruined. If a luxury CEO asks a generic AI for market intelligence, what actually happens?
Well, let's play it out. Let's say you ask a generic AI, what is the current trading price of the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5711 on the secondary market in Tokyo?
A very specific, very important question for that brand.
Very important. So the generic AI wants to be helpful. It scans its training data. Maybe it finds a blog post from 2021. Maybe it finds a listing on some weird site. It confidently tells you it's trading at $100,000.
Okay.
But the reality, which DLG's live data might see, is that the market has softened and real deals are happening closer to $85,000.
Wow, that is a $15,000 difference.
That's massive. If you build your entire strategy, your production forecast, on that 100K number, you are just burning cash.
Yeah.
A generic AI guesses when it doesn't know, and in luxury, a guess is dangerous.
So the problem's twofold. Your internal data is scattered into a million pieces,
Right.
and the external AI tools are confident liars because they don't have access to real facts.
Precisely. And that, right there, brings us to the Model Context Protocol.
The MCP. Okay, let's demystify this, because Model Context Protocol sounds like something you'd hear in a server room and immediately just zone out. What is it actually doing?
The easiest way to think about it is with an analogy. So imagine the whole internet is one giant public library.
Okay, I'm with you.
And ChatGPT or Claude, they're like a super fast reader in that library.
Right.
But the information you really need, your sales data, that gray market pricing, it's not in the public library. It's in a secure private vault.
And the AI can't get in.
Usually, no.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just paste your data into the public chat window, you're potentially exposing it. That's a huge security nightmare.
Yeah, of course.
What MCP does is it creates a secure tunnel. It's like giving the AI a temporary VIP badge to enter your vault, read only the files you point to, answer your question, and then leave without taking any of the files with it.
So it's bringing the brain of the AI to your data rather than sending your data out to the public AI.
That is a perfect way to put it. It connects DLG's proprietary databases directly to the interface that the executive is already using.
See, that's the part that really stood out to me, the interface. They aren't making people learn a new app, are they?
No, and that is just strategic genius. Executive app fatigue is a real thing. If you tell a CEO, here's your login for DLG Portal 5.0, please learn this new dashboard, they're not going to do it.
They'll just ask their assistant to do it.
Exactly. And then you're right back to having a bottleneck. But this MCT thing, it works with the tools that companies are already rolling out. ChatGPT Enterprise, Claude, Microsoft Copilot, Gemini.
So practically speaking, I could have Microsoft Copilot open and I can just type, show me the gray market trends for my brand versus Cartier. And it just works.
Yes. Because Argument, that's the infrastructure provider here, has built the pipes. You speak in natural language. You don't need to know SQL code. You don't need to call an analyst. You just ask the question.
I have to push back a little bit here. Is it actually safe? I mean, if I'm the head of Hermes or LVMH, the idea of connecting my private data to an LLM, even through this protocol, it would keep me up at night.
It's a totally valid fear. But that's the entire point of the protocol part of MCP. It's an open standard designed specifically for this kind of secure connection. It's not a hack. It's a standardized way for these systems to talk to each other without training the public model on your secrets.
Ah, okay. So your sales data doesn't become part of ChatGPT's general knowledge for everyone else to use.
Exactly.
All right, so the pipes are secure. Let's talk about what's actually flowing through them, because the tech is only as good as the information it can get to.
The private library.
That 1.4 billion data points, it sounds impressive, but numbers like that can also be, vanity metrics. What is actually in there?
So it covers 185 luxury brands across 64 markets. And the sectors are watches, jewelry, fashion, and beauty.
But those are really different businesses. Tracking a lipstick launch is nothing like tracking a limited edition watch.
Oh, they're completely different.
Yeah.
In beauty, you're looking at high volume, high velocity. It's all about social sentiment, influencer impact, really rapid trend shifts. The data points there are millions of social interactions and search queries.
And for watches?
Watches are slower, but the data is, let's say, heavier. It's about value retention, collector sentiment, auction results.
Oh.
And this is where we get to the killer app for this whole data set.
Which is?
Retail and secondary market pricing, specifically the gray market and the pre-owned sectors.
You mentioned the Patek example earlier. Why is the gray market such a powerful signal? Why not just look at your own sales figures?
Because your sales figures are historical. They tell you what happened last month. The gray market tells you what's happening right now. It is the ultimate truth teller. Well, a brand can set any retail price it wants, right? They can say, this handbag is worth $5,000, and they control that story inside their boutiques. But on the secondary market,
The real market.
the platforms where people buy and sell pre-owned goods, The market decides the price.
So if that $5,000 bag is selling for $2,500 brand new with tags on a resale site,
Then the brand has a problem. The market